It's back! So yeah, let's talk. Okay, I need to talk about one thing, which is abundantly clear. It's not part of the review, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it is simple, which is basically, when Wizards of Waverly Place originally aired, I watched it. After a certain period of time, I rewatched it. So, I love Wizards of Waverly Place, the original series. I wouldn't be able to be like, and this happened at this episode of this. Again, no, because at this point, because at this point I've watched too many series and I probably should stop watching series or TV shows because I'm watching too many stuff. And two, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, I do like the original series. There are certain moments I like and certain memories I like because of the show. I definitely also liked the ending of the original series with the actual, like, Tri-Wizard tournament because I think it's really good. The episodes that involve that are really fun, and how it does it and how it wraps everything up is really fun. So, I've known about this show for a while. I even went to someone else while I was working at a specific company because I don't want to say which company I used to work for. And by the way, it wasn't bad, I just feel not to. And I went to them being like, oh yeah, there's been rumors of like they're creating another, like a reboot, or like they're bringing this back. Not reboot, it's not technically a reboot. It is technically a sequel series. It's like, oh yeah, this is happening, so that's happened. But I've heard stuff about it for a while. I've been keeping an eye on like when the first thing of like, ooh, something's happening. So yeah, I did know about that. And I was excited. And I like it. Not only for the idea that this feels a bit different to the original series, which I think is good. I know a lot of people say that the setup of this, in a way of like the characters, how they interact, is similar to the other one. And I will say, fair. Fully fair. I can see a couple of differences, but if I'm like, the Justin's like oldest son and Justin himself is a bit different. You can make counters. Like, I never saw Justin in the same like awkwardness as sort of his older son is. But maybe that's because like doing that sort of stuff is like I'm sort of like used to it, and maybe I've got rose tinted glasses on. I always forget. I think it's like, this is why I'm bad at names. But the two sort of like best friends to these two, I don't see the same because they have different quirkiness. But again, besides quirkiness flavors being more jumpers, cats, and this one being more, emotional in a good way, but more like, I don't know, it's weird. The two sort of friends seem a bit different, and I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But yeah, and now it's spoiled. Okay. For most of it, you kind of deal with Monster of the Week, or like Spells of the Week, which is basically what Wizards of Waverly Place was. Here's a new spell that... Here's... Like the other one was, here's a new spell that they learned in class, here's how it can get messed up wrong. And you get that, and it's fun. And I really like it. And I really think it's interesting. And this one, I like that sometimes you bring items, you bring this. I do think that's interesting. I also like the idea that in season 1, in the first, not season 1, this is season 1, but in Wizards of Waverly Place, besides, I think, some people either coming or going, or when Justin and why am I forgetting Lena Gomez's name? I can even remember the actor's name, not the character. Alex Russo characters drop, and they have to like fill up by doing extra curriculum. You have it besides that shift and the weird one where one turns into a girl at a young, actually no, why not one? Nah, it turns into a girl into a younger age. I don't know why they did this. I just know they did. That was a thing that they did. Besides those two, most of the time you can feel the format. I am obviously going to say that the one thing I do hate, and it is kind of spoilers, this intro is like the final intro to the original Waverly Place, which was fine. Even this one is fine. The music is fine, the music is good. But, and a key but, the first intro was better. I can remember that hands down, which was you start off going to the shop. You see Alex sort of like go up, oh, I'm late, do some spells to go down, which was her character. Sort of like being the person who would use magic as like, oh, first solution, I can figure out the rest later. Then you have, I think, Justin, who was going up, doing everything properly, everything correct. Brushes his hair. I'm here, I'm proper, doing the right thing. He gets trapped mirror, which isn't a character thing, it's just their dynamic, which I think was useful. Then you go to Max's character. Yay, I remembered another name. Who turns an orange into a cupcake. And I like that because that part of the intro is useful for like, he's not a person, like he will turn it back, he's like, yeah, just turn it back. Where like he won't use magic for like what I would say Alex, which is more like, oh, I might need to do this. He'll just do it for like convenient. Like Alex will do stuff like, oh, I messed up, I'll just fix it with magic. Max will do stuff because it might reward him. I don't know, maybe both are the same, but you get the point. And I think Max in the original series, I think a lot of people put it out perfectly, where the original series, and maybe this with the new sort of like family, where you have two characters as the main focus, and then a comedy one, which for the original series was Justin and Alex, and then Max is just there. I'm sorry people who like Max, but he has character arcs, but I feel like it's... I love that I'm talking about the original series now. But again, then you see the mum. I think it's like Gina's character. Where it's like, oh, don't do that. And then you do that, which shows like she's been a parent. And then you go down to the layer. Someone's stealing the computer. It's like, and then he looks at the camera where it's just like, he sort of shows in his like teacher's eye. And it's like, and when he does this, it's sort of like, yeah, he might not see things through. Again, I refer that to just go to random items and show clips. Which I would say this one is at least better than that one, I admit. Because this one has each one sort of like do a pose and not just do like a bunch of clips. Which I never liked. But besides me talking about the intro for like 3 minutes... I just love this. I love how this introduced, and also, final spoilers, this gets the, sort of Justin's kid, their magic. We don't know why they lose their magic, and I feel like that would be an interesting question. And it's Triwizard Tournament. I just said 5 minutes ago, and now I can't. So, how will they do this? And will there be a disestablishment of that? Because I think that system was always stupid. Like, legitimately. And I would love if a question, no, this makes no sense. And that, I think, would be fun. But that's just a personal thing. So yeah, you can tell that I love this series because I talk about it so much. So I definitely recommend it, including the intro for 2 minutes. But yeah, it's really good. But having all of that being said, even old, new, I hope you enjoy, and good night.